All right, we're back with another pregame show. This is number 4. We're going up against the first SEC opener. We're going on the road, so time for some road warriors to come out in this gut check game. Welcome into the Gravity Design Lab studio. Let's get into the show. All right, we're back with our guy, Austin.
What's up, man? How's it going?
You ready to talk a little Arkansas versus Auburn football?
Oh, yeah.
Arkansas is coming in off of a it's hard to say disappointing because they won, but a disappointing win, if that exists.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week. I thought it would be a pretty comfortable win. We both thought they would cover. Obviously, we knew pretty quick that wasn't going to happen, and just felt like they come out light, and the team kind of were thinking the same things that we thought, which was this team just lost Louisiana Monroe. We should have beat Oklahoma State on the road. Let's just get past this game and get to Auburn. And it almost cost them. But at the end, a win's a win.
As Dominic Toretto says, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or if you win by a mile.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
A win's a win. But they the post game, Sam and Landon both were talking about how the team practiced in had like five players practiced in the green jerseys. That's kind of hard to say. 5 players practiced in the green jerseys. Anyway, they were talking about how the practice were slow, and Sam said, "I knew we'd come out and play slow." Like you can't do that. I don't care who you're playing. You have to practice how you play, and you have to really turn it up, and you need to get after it, or otherwise you're going to come out flat-footed like they did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but I mean, if there was a team that you were going to come out and lay an egg in the first quarter against, that was the one to do it. It's not an excuse. I mean, Sam's been a coach here long enough. He should know to get his team up for every single game. But I mean, the more talented team came out on top. It showed over time. Talon had an off game. I think that was huge. He didn't seem quite right. His passes, I mean, everybody saw it. His passes were just all over the place. I mean, it was like his first or second pass. He just threw a perfect pass to Armstrong along the sideline. It was just like high arcing ball that like was right there on the edge, and you're like, man, that's an amazing throw. And then he misses like 3 straight. So it was kind of frustrating to watch, but at the end of the day, he still accounted for almost like 260 yards. He almost rushed for 100 yards. So, I mean, it's easy to be critical of him, but hopefully that was just a down game for him. And I still think he's the guy. There were a lot of people saying that he needs to get benched and all this, and I still think he's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy. Singleton's good. He's solid, but he's not starter level. I mean, he's good. He's a good backup if he needed to come in. Now next year or the year after, yeah, he could be. I guess Green will still be here next year, won't he? So the year after, I mean, I think I can see a scenario where we lean on the running game more against Auburn, and we probably should try to control some of the time. I mean, you're on a road game in the SEC. In recent history, Sam's teams have gone better on the road than they have at home.
A couple weeks ago, I was excited to face Auburn. They came out flat. They lost against Cal, and I'm like, this is a beatable team. Because Hugh Freeze is a good coach.
The key that I think that our defensive line has to get going.
They need to come out, get some pressure on a young quarterback, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, that's how they're going to stop that offense because their rushing game has been solid. Hunter is a senior that is their starting running back. He's solid.
They're starting their a redshirt freshman, is that right? Hank Brown.
A couple of weeks ago, they lose to Cal. They look terrible. Quarterback throws 4 interceptions. Now all of a sudden they're starting a redshirt freshman the next week. But like you said, he looked good last week. He threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, he made the plays he needed to and had some good passes. And they're going to have to buckle up. Like you said, that's the one thing that the defense, I don't think, is consistently done yet this year, which is exactly what you were saying. They haven't gotten consistent pressure. And it's, Oklahoma State had a good line. We should be getting pressure and sacks against UAB and UAPB.
I am a little worried about our line, though, because we have some injuries there and we have different guys moving in, moving around.
Yes, Sam said that it's a high ankle sprain for Nichols. He's been dealing with it. But, this is, unless you have eyes in the building, you don't really know what's going on. But he said he's doing better at this point this week, which was like yesterday, Tuesday, and than he was this point last week. So I think he was already going into the game last week hurt. Sounds like he's going to be probable he's going to play, but how well can you play with a high ankle sprain? That's about the worst injury you can have as an offensive lineman. So, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him get healthy. Obviously, I think he's a key piece. Sounds like Kudus is still out. Harris has been solid, but our main 2 cogs that I thought coming in was Josh Braun at right guard. He's been really solid, and Carmona's been really good at left tackle. So they've been kind of the steady eddies. They've been rock solid, and you can rely on them. So the line's been so much better this year than they were last year. But real competition's fixing to start. They got to stay healthy, and they got to be able to keep doing what they have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's you have your anchors there. You have your key pieces. You really need some other guys to step in and kind of keep that momentum going. But they've looked so much better than they did last year. You're absolutely right. I mean, they're leaps and bounds. I mean, you got some better players. I think you got some better coaching in. You have Coach Pittman taking on more of a ownership of the line, which is good for them, good for everybody. So ESPN has us on the betting line at started out at 3.5 point dogs. Now we're down to 3-point dog, which that's good. I guess that means some of the money's going in on us. So maybe people other than Arkansans, maybe a bunch of Arkansans are putting their money there instead of the NIL collective, but trying to get something out of it. So you have the line at 3. The over under is at 56.5.
I feel like it's over on that. I don't think offense has been the key. I feel like Bobby Portis and the offense gets a lot of the attention. Offense honestly hadn't been the problem this year. I mean, I was looking at it earlier. We're 3rd in total offense in the SEC, and I mean, it's not been the problem. Auburn is a solid defense. They're not at the bottom, but they're also not near the top. I think Bobby probably did what he's known for this week and is making sure that guys are going to be ready and they're not going to come out flat. I'm not saying Talon's going to pass for 600 yards on them, but I think he improves. He still shows his rushing ability. JJ gets his yards. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like I hate to rely on our kicking game because that's another whole issue because I'm so used to having Mr. Automatic Cam back there, and it's just tough seeing missed kicks this year. But I'll give us a field goal. I think it's probably going to be like 45. I'm going to go with us to win because I do think the freshman quarterback will have some problems. I think the defense is going to give up points, but they're going to do just enough to kind of get in his head. They're going to rely a lot on the running game too. So I'm going to go 45-35.
You said Bobby Portis. I'm pretty impressed that he's able to play center in the NBA. And
that's a Bobby.
I was going to say something when he said it, but I was like, whatever.
Got too many Bobbies around here.
Oh, Bobby Vitrino coming in heavy this week. I think he's going to unleash some, and he should. I mean, we need that. I think that's a big part of what he brings to the table is that he can be the bad guy successfully, like without making a big like ordeal. I mean, because then you still have the guys like Sam that can help build people up. But anyway, I think you have an angry Bobby probably. You have an angry Landon Jackson. I'm curious to see what angry Landon Jackson looks like. Does he just rip through the line now? 38-35. So that'll be over. I mean, that could very well be the case. And of course, I'm taking Arkansas. This is one of those games that we have to take. We have to get because we have this game, A&M next week. Looks a little bit tougher than it did. Once again, another quarterback coming in, and typical Arkansas fashion.
Yeah, I think it's so early to say something like this, but I think really, really thinking about it, I think this could be the most important game of the year. And it's kind of crazy because I don't feel like maybe it's just because it's still earlier ish in the week, but I think by the time Saturday rolls around, people kind of start thinking about it. It's a very important game. You win this one, it could. Of course, I've said that about Oklahoma State too, which it was true in that case. But you win this game, you take some momentum into A&M, and then you start playing the really tough people that's going to be on our schedule. You need to get your wins where you can get them. If you want to get to 7 games this year, or hopefully 8, or at least 6, this is the type of games you need to win. Because Tennessee going to be really, really tough. Missouri going to be a really tough game. You're hoping you can beat Mississippi State, but you go start clicking through these teams and everything. Auburn's one that it's a 3-point game on the road. That means you can win that game. It's probably close to even in neutral site, so people think that this game is close. You need to find out a way to win this game because it's real important, and then it carries momentum into A&M. We're probably going to be an underdog in that one too, but you got to have some momentum on your side going into that game. You don't want to lose to Oklahoma State, barely beat UAB, lose Auburn. You're trending the wrong direction.
All right, well, there you have it. First step to a national championship coming in hot. We still have a chance at a 1-loss season. So we appreciate you being here. Stay in, stay around, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, everything. Just do it all. All right, well, go Hogs. We'll see you next week. Let's do it again.